The Sun Sign News Daily Horoscopes are for information purposes only. The Sun Sign News Daily Horoscopes are not intended to replace professional medical, psychological, legal, or investment advice. It is the intention of the author of the Sun Sign News that the daily horoscopes be used in conjunction with one's own common sense and, if warranted, the advisement of a professional and licensed physician, psychologist, attorney, or investment advisor. Welcome to another edition of the Sun Sign News. Today's horoscopic reading is for Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Calculated for sunrise, Eastern Standard Time, and beginning with the sign currently occupied by the sun, Leo. If you have any time off due to you, today would be a good day to be someplace other than the workplace or the office. We're forecasting a day rife with all that he said, she said type of nonsense. If involved in a business partnership, this day could prove to be very, very challenging. Money matters are likely at the root of it all. Speaking of which, when it comes to personal money matters, these require discipline and restraint, as losses due to gambling and speculation could be catastrophic. Intimate relationships are under unfavorable stellar influences today, and every effort should be made to avoid arguments. Major decisions on your relationships should be shelved for another day. Athletics and sports are likely to be challenging in the morning and up until about the noon hour, with the potential for injury and embarrassment being greatest then. Virgo. While career matters in general are under favorable influences, there is a need to keep an eye on legalities and paperwork. Equally, there is some potential for conflicts with coworkers or employees. Personal money matters show no signs of cosmic meddling, while tonight, the potential for hurt feelings in your romantic relationships is very high. Calmly talk it out. While your physical vitality should be quite high in sports or athletic pursuits, every effort should be made to avoid injury. Libra. At work or in the practice of your profession, while the work of your hands or the product of your ingenuity is under fortunate stellar influences, colleagues or workplace friends can potentially drop the ball today, leaving you overburdened. Worse, coworkers or employees have the potential to essentially abandon you. Extra care with communications is required after noon. In money matters, gambling or speculative investing can potentially lead to catastrophic losses. Intimate relationships are under fortunate stars, however, your partner is likely to expect you to take the lead in romantic matters. When it comes to competitive sports and athletic pursuits, the message in the stars for Libra today is the potential for not only near-peak performance, but a spot in the winner's circle. Scorpio. According to the stars, if you've played by all the rules and have all your paperwork in order, then your day at work should only prove to be hectic. Otherwise, you're most likely looking at hectic and problematic. Personal money matters are under unfavorable conditions today, but the worst part of the influence comes after the noon hour, which is when losses due to gambling or speculative investments can be catastrophic. Tonight, you and your partner may have very different ideas as to how to have fun. Lastly, throughout the day and into the night, sports and athletic pursuits are under very unfortunate stellar influences. Sagittarius. At work or in the practice of your profession, the stars suggest hectic conditions and challenges in communications. Money matters are to be regarded as unfortunate, with a strong stellar warning against taking on new debt. Intimate relationships should prove to be your refuge, as these affairs are under fortunate stars and the potential for single archers to cross paths with a serious romantic prospect remains high. When it comes to sports and athletic pursuits for your sign in the earlier part of the day, we're forecasting that things are either going to go really well or go really badly, one extreme or the other. Past noon, well, all the influences on your sign's athletic potential turn negative. Capricorn. Career matters should prove to be fortunate through the early part of the day, but past noon there is a greater potential for critics and backstabbers to work against you. Money matters are under very unfortunate stellar influences today, and there is likely a strong desire to obtain something by taking on debt, debt which could ultimately prove to be very hard to manage. Intimate relationships have good potential throughout the day, but there is some suggestion of your partner having worries or possibly even resentments regarding money issues. In sports and athletic pursuits, you are likely to dominate the field, court, track, etc. Aquarius. Overall, career matters for your sign should go fairly well today, but if involved in a business partnership, this day could prove to be very challenging. Prepare for an airing of grievances. Money matters are likely to be solid up until the noon hour, and then afterwards things get shaky. Plan accordingly. Intimate relationships are under very unfortunate stellar influences today, and every effort should be made to avoid arguments. Major decisions on your relationships should be shelved for another day. In sports and athletic pursuits, our forecast for your sign today is the potential for a better than average performance combined with an overly aggressive competitive style. Pisces. Career matters for your sign are under unfortunate stellar influences today. From morning and up until about noon, problems with coworkers or employees are likely to reach the breaking point. Afternoon, you are likely to have to deal with the consequences of a manager's incompetence or the unreasonable demands of a confused and cantankerous client. As per the now usual, accepting the risky stuff, personal money matters are on solid ground. Intimate relationships are under very fortunate stellar influences throughout the day, and single Pisces on the hunt can potentially cross paths with a serious romantic prospect. In sports and athletic pursuits, today's stellar influences can coincide with lowered physical vitality and a tendency towards injury. Aries. While coworkers in general or employees can be counted on to have your back, colleagues or workplace friends can potentially drop the ball today, leaving you significantly overburdened. In personal money matters, taking on new debt, as well as gambling and speculative investments, should be considered very unfortunate today. Intimate relationships are under favorable astrological conditions throughout the day. And lastly, according to the stars, though your strength and speed should be there, this is likely to be another challenging day when it comes to competitive sports, with the morning up until about noon being the better part of the day. Taurus. Prepare for more than your fair share of scrutiny at work or in the practice of your profession. Higher-ups or clients may prove to be highly critical and unforgiving. Past the noon hour, be very careful with what you say, as there is the potential for your own foot to suddenly wind up in your own mouth and thus, in their minds, prove them right. With the exception of taking on new debt, money matters are under favorable stellar influences today, and romantic relationships receive a similar stellar blessing throughout the day. If involved in competitive sports or athletic pursuits, the stars indicate the potential for an above-average level of performance today. Gemini. According to the stars, when it comes to work or the practice of your profession, today has the potential to be like your own personal Mercury retrograde, with communications and transportation as well as technology in general leading to one challenge after another. Pay attention to legalities and consider foreign affairs as unfortunate. Money matters are under unfortunate influences today too, so plan accordingly and keep an eye out for things like fraudulent charges on your credit cards. Intimate relationships have good potential throughout the day and into the late hours of the night, but your partner is likely expecting you to take the lead. In competitive sports or athletic pursuits, today's planetary position should endow your sign with strength, speed, agility, and skill. Cancer. Career matters for your sign are under mostly favorable astrological influences today. However, after the noon hour, coworkers or employees have the potential to call out, or at the least, just kind of give up for the day. Personal money matters are under very unfortunate stars today, and debt taken on under these stellar influences could prove to be very hard to pay down. Avoid major purchases and shelve the signing of any financial agreements for another day. Intimate relationships have great potential throughout the day, and if the whole animal magnetism thing holds any appeal for you, well, then you're in luck. In sports and athletics, according to the stars, this is potentially another unfortunate day. If you have enjoyed the audio version of the Sun Sign News, we ask that you give us a thumbs up and even subscribe to this channel if you are so inclined. That will help keep us on the air and delivering a daily dose of cynicism and sarcasm wrapped in a supercharged daily sun sign horoscope. And remember, don't blame us.